Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today in this video let us know about the most important English literature MCQs which are very important and necessary for net set and competitive exams. So let us get into the questions. First one, a sonnet of a sonnet contains how many lines? 14 lines. Second question, blank verse was the standard meter of Elizabethan drama. Third question, Desdemona is a character in Shakespeare Othello. Fourth question, John Masefield was a Georgian poet. Fifth question, negative capability is a term associated with John Keats. Sixth question, aspects of the novel is written by E.M. Forster. Seventh question, prosody is the theory and principles of the art of writing verse. Eighth question, dramatic monologue is a lyric poem perfected by Robert Browning. An elegy is a poem of lamentation. Tenth question, poetry is a criticism of life, says Matthew Arnold. 11th question, Oxford movement is a religious movement. 12th question, the three unities of Aristotle are time, place and action. 13th question, the figure of speech that endows animals and inanimate objects with human form and nature is personification. 14th question, A Tale of Two Cities is a novel written by Charles Dickens. 15th question, F.R. Lewis is a new critic. 16th question, Vol Soyinka is a writer of Africa. 17th question, Sarojini Naidu wrote the poem Coromandel Fishers. 18th question, rewarding good and punishing evil is an ideal situation called poetic justice. 19th question, a medieval religious play is a morality play. 20th, climax is the turning point of the plot or action. 21st question, homonym is a word with same pronunciation as another word with a difference in meaning. 22nd question, the perspective that an author uses to tell a story is called point of view. 23rd question, romantic movement in English literature began with the publication of lyrical ballads. 24th question, a critical attitude blended with humor and wit is called satire. 25th question, Edward II is a play written by Christopher Marlowe. 26th question, the portrayal of difference between appearance and reality is a literary technique termed irony. 27th question, Tagore won the Nobel Prize for Gitanjali in 1913. 28th, Malgudi is the imaginary town of R.K. Narayan. 29th, A Tale of Two Cities deals with the French Revolution and its effects. 30th, A Doll's House is a play written by Henrik Ibsen. 31st, W.B. Yeats belonged to Ireland. 32nd, Coolie is a novel written by Milbraj Anand. 33rd, A Thing of Beauty is a Joy Forever, says John Keats. 34th, myth is a hereditary belief held to be true. 35th, The Wasteland is a poem written by T.S. Eliot. 36th, Shylock is a character in the play The Merchant of Venice. 37th, the writer of the epic Savitri is Sri Aurobindo. 38th, Arundhati Roy is the god of small things won Booker Prize. 39th, Ulysses is a poem written by Tennyson. 40th, Ode to Nightingale is a poem written by John Keats. 41st, Lore, I have flung to east and west priceless treasures down from my breast. The above lines are from The Gift of India. 42nd question, in Greek mythology, Venus is the goddess of beauty. 43rd, Ulysses was the king of Ithaca. 44th question, I have come after them and made repair, where they have left not one stone on a stone. The above lines are from Mending Wall. 45th question, requiem means special service for the repose of the souls of the dead. 46th question. Robert Browning belongs to the Victorian period. 47. The two cities in A Tale of Two Cities are Paris and London. 48th. Charles Dickens belongs to the Victorian age. 49. Oliver Goldsmith belongs to the 18th century. 50th. The Mistakes of a Night is the subtitle of the following play, She Stoops to Conquer. 51. Tony is a spoilt child. Who was Tony's father? Mr. Hardcastle. 53rd question. Who disguised herself as a barmaid? Miss Hardcastle. 54th. Who sings the song Let Schoolmasters Puzzle Their Brain in Act 1, Scene 2 of the She Stoops to Conquer? Tony. 55th. Miss Hardcastle is clever and intelligent. 56th question. Hazel is a character from She Stoops to Conquer. So all these characters belong to this play, She Stoops to Conquer. And 57th question. In chapter 1 of The Mayor of Casterbridge, Hardy introduces Michael Henchard as an employed hairdresser. 58th. Donald Farfrae is a young Scotsman. 59. Who sells his wife in a fit of Turkey Street in The Mayor of Casterbridge? Michael Henchard. 60th. Who bought Susan at the fair? New song. 61st. After being sold, how many years later did Susan appear at the Weyton Priors Road? Approximately 18 years later. 62nd. Shaw is an Irishman. 63rd. Arms and the Man consists of 3 acts. 64th. Shaw is a member of Fabian Society. 65th. One of the following plays was written by Shakespeare. 12th Night. 66th. Scott's Ivanhoe is a historical novel. 67. The novel Ivanhoe is set in 12th century England. 68th. Sidney Carton is a character in A Tale of Two Cities. 69th. Reginald Front de Bow, a baron, is a character in Ivanhoe. 70. In Ivanhoe, Isaac of Oak is the father of Rebecca. 71st. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. These are the opening lines of A Tale of Two Cities. 72. Who said the famous words, Here's the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes at Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. Lady Macbeth. 73rd. In the opening scene of Macbeth, Shakespeare presents 3 witches. 74th question. The Way of the World is a restoration comedy. 75. Roland Waitwell in Disguise. The protagonist of the English teacher is Krishnan. Krishnan's daughter's name was Leela. 78th. Krishnan's wife died of pneumonia. 79. The majority of R.K. Narayan Rao's deals with middle classes. 80th question. In The Way of the World, Waitwell married Mrs. Millamant. 81. Verbal is servant to Lady Wishfort. 82nd. Edward II opens with Gaveston reading a letter. My father is deceased, come Gaveston. Who is the father referred to? Edward I. 83. Banquo is a character in Macbeth. Macbeth suffers from ambition. 85th. The lines about the King doting upon the love of Gaveston are from Edward II. 86. Beowulf is an important work of Old English literature. 87. The Canterbury Tales was written by Geoffrey Chaucer. 88. The Fairy Queen was written by Spenser. 89. Paradise Lost was written by John Milton. 90. Who is often called the father of English criticism? John Drayton. 91. An essay on criticism was written by Alexander Pope. 92. The preface to lyrical ballads is associated with William Wordsworth. 93. Biographia Literaria was written by S.T. Coleridge. 94. The term negative capability was coined by John Keats. 95. In Memoriam, A.H.H. was written by Alfred Tennyson. 96. The Mayor of Casterbridge was written by Thomas Hardy. 97. Ulysses as a novel written by James Joyce. 98. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock was written by T.S. Eliot. 99. Practical Criticism is a major work by I.A. Richards. 100. The technique of presenting a character's continuous flow of thoughts is called stream of consciousness. So these are the most important 100 MCQs for the aspirants of NET, SET and competitive exams. Hope you like this video. Please subscribe, share and comment. And let us meet in the next video. Thank you.